Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of my brand new Let's Play of Cities Skylines. I'm very happy to be starting this game, and we're going to start it off by picking a map. You know, I've been looking at a lot of maps recently and I've snagged a few. A few of these I've already built cities on, like if you remember my tour of the city of Dean Ambrose that was on Caldera. This one right here. But today, what I have decided that we're going to do is we are going to build on this map, which is allegedly a map of Cologne in Germany, according to the guy who made it. So shout out to all the German viewers, if there are any. And, well, we're not going to be recreating Cologne or anywhere else German, for that matter. I don't know. I guess we're going to be having something that's maybe a bit of a European-American hybrid, or maybe nothing at all. We'll see. But I have a name picked out for the city, and I guarantee you this is a name that's never been used before, ever. And this is going to be the great city of Guppinkozu. That is correct, Guppinkozu. And there is a bit of a reason for this. We're not for this name, and we're not going to have left-hand traffic. Don't worry, that would just screw up my head. So there we go. The city of Guppinkozu, squatting in the landforms of Cologne, Germany. Okay, sounds good. So here we go. So I bet now that we're loading, gives us a little bit of time to talk about what we're going to do. Because I was thinking, what do I want to do? What kind of city do I want to make? Do I want to go with an organic building style like I often did in SimCity 4? Did I want to go with a top-down planning style like I've done in other city builders and in SimCity 4 also? And I decided I wanted to do something that I would describe as sort of organic-ish, where it's going to be somewhat organic, but it's going to be also largely top-down planning, and in a style that hints at organic building, but maybe isn't necessarily organic building. If all that seems a little wonky and strange and stuff, it's going to become clear pretty soon what I'm doing. I want to make basically a core downtown main city with a number of outlying minor towns and suburbs. And I sort of want to create the nucleus of all of these locations and then build out from there. And one thing I want to have is a commuter rail system. Now, that's something I haven't really tried yet, but I think that could be fun to see if it works. And if not, it would be an interesting aesthetic. And we all love rail lines and trying to, make them and everything and make them work. And there'll probably be highways as well. I'm almost certain of it, especially if we get to be big. I'm aiming for a city that's not too huge when all things said and done. Maybe 80 to 100,000 at most. I mean, that's big enough, and just like I think games like SimCity and Cities XL overstate how many people are in your city, this game understates them. Like 100,000 people in this game looks like 1,000,000 people in SimCity 4 almost. Maybe not quite that much of a disparity, but it's something along those lines. Alright, here we are in our new city of Guppinkozu. It's going to take a while to learn how to say that correctly. But and yes, I will be building with the Infinite Money mod, and I have reasons for doing that. Number one, this game is a lot tougher when you have the money limited. In SimCity 4, rather, they would give you 500,000 to start. In this game, they give you 10,000, and you go through it at about the same rate. So yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze, and you know, the challenge in this game I think is going to come a lot more from, like, you know, traffic design and trying to get what I want to look the way I want and things like that. So for those reasons, I'm going to be using infinite money, but we're going to try to make this number. This number is going to be like very negative for a while, but we're going to try to make it positive just to, you know, have that bit of realism. Alright, I also have a mod installed that allows you to purchase all 5 tiles that you can right off the bat, because I just want the maximum area to work with. So we're going to go ahead and purchase this, and I might as well ask any of you from Germany or familiar with Cologne, can you confirm or deny that this in any way looks like Cologne in terms of landform? Because I honestly do not know. And I wonder if those highways are in any way what Cologne has. I'm guessing probably not. But one of the first things we're going to do is destroy most of these, because, I don't know, I'm sure they're useful, and if I was building a different style, I'd probably keep them. But I kind of just want to, you know, have my own free reign over what to do, you know, and how to do things. So we're going to keep in mind where the entrances to the city are, but we are going to build our own things in the city. Okay, so there we go. Our city of Guppinkozu. See, that's not hard to say, is it? Guppinkozu. Alright, we're not going to destroy every highway, but for now, yes, the game keeps reminding me to do things. You're going to hear a lot of demolitions for a while, so we're going to cut this highway off there, just for temporary purposes, there, tying it off. And, okay, let's see here. Maybe I'll keep the one rail line, just for the sake of, what's the word? Transport of cargo into the city. And that we could just build around that and use our different lines for commuter lines, because you can make your own rail lines, and that's what I intend to do. If there's an easier way of demolishing things, I do not know of it yet, so I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me as I click and click. But yeah, I have pretty big plans for this city. I want to focus on both aesthetics and functionality. You know, I want it to be practical, like a practical place to live, but I also want it to be a nice looking place to live. Not saying that, you know, I'm going to go by any kind of aesthetic standard other than my own, you know. I'm going to definitely, I don't know, go with what I think is nice. Is there a better way, is there an easier way to demolish this? Something tells me there's probably not. But, yeah, let's keep working at it here. I might edit some of this out. So, don't be surprised if you see things jumping forward. In fact, let's do that. I'm going to edit out everything until I'm done doing this. So, see you in a minute. Alright, I decided to leave a little bit more than I originally was going to. I decided to leave this highway going through the city, as well as this rail and this rail. And the sort of the quote in-universe justification I'm going to be giving for this is I'm going to say these were created by the national government authorities, not the local government. and therefore they might not conform to the city's the city's uses, but it should be pretty good. So we're going to orient ourselves here, and just kind of curious, if I flip this around, will that flip back? Alright, is that always at the bottom? I'm kind of curious now. Yeah. Or is it? Oh, gosh, I'm confused. Nope, not necessarily. It always flips around. So, I'm not sure what direction we're going to say is north or anything, but I think that we are going to start here, and what we're going to do is lay out some basic roads. Because this area I want to be sort of like the old town. But before I lay out roads, I want to think to the future already, even as we are just beginning. And because did you know you can build walking paths? Walking paths, you might say. Why would you want to build a walking path? Well, I can't seem to find them. Yeah, where the hell are they? Hold on. Give me a minute. I'll find that. I'll find this out. Okay, here they are. I kind of want the old town to have a walking path next to a train track. So we're going to do this now. Because remember what I said, it's faux organic. It is not true organic. We're combining organic techniques with top-down planning in an attempt to make things look organic. And if you think this is a weird order to do things, well, just hold on, because hopefully things will look logical in a bit. But anyway, like I said, yeah. Train tracks. Oh, you need a station for to unlock the tracks. So we're just gonna toss a station over here just to have that unlocked. There we go. Train line. You need train tracks before that. I mean, we already have train tracks, but, you know, I think it only registers if you make them, but we're not going to worry about zoning lines for quite a while. Oh, look. This is where the highway was. Imagine driving that truck. Whoopsie. It's like, where did the road go? In universe, the road never existed at all. What a thought, right? So, there we go. There is our riverside path, which is very slanted and sloped. Now that I look at it from that angle, but that's alright. I don't think that's going to make too many problems for us. So now what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to make an old town type area, and I'm going to be very careful not to let any roads be too straight or any intersections be too right. You know, this is I want to give this a real old world feel, and I'm not sure how well we'll do, honestly, but we can give it a try. I was even thinking about the idea of sort of enclosing this area within a ring of sorts. So, it also is also going to be good for marking when we make the district. So, now keep in mind, I'm not sure if this ring is going to be kept once the city grows, or if it's going to just remain. But what we're going to do is go to our zona district, and we don't have to be surgical about this, but it would be nice to be pretty close. And we are going to call this area, we are going to call this Old Guppin. That is right. And you know what's going to be over here across the river? That is going to be Old Kozu. We are going to say that the little towns of Guppin and Kozu combined to form Guppinkozu. And I think that is a good backstory for our city. Kozu is going to be a little bit stringier. And these are going to be enforced sort of low-density historic districts. The true downtown of Guppinkozu will be nearby, and we'll have to name it and identify it when it comes down to that point. But Old Kozu. There we go. Old Kozu, neighbor to Old Guppin. So, oh look. Oh, these poor guys. Whoa. Poor Stephanie Ward. Poor Mary Campbell. Poor oil truck. Okay. So, what we need to do now is build some bridges, which we can call historic monuments or whatever. It's really too bad you can't pick your own bridges like you can in, oh, look at that. Poor Raymond Reed. Yeah, too bad you can't really pick him like you could in SimCity 4. That was fun stuff. Okay, we're going to have a couple in close vicinity. Remind myself of the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges, which are actually very close together in New York. So, we're going to say that during the old times, these were the two bridges. And actually, there's no reason that needs to stick out further. That one, though, is going to stay where it is. Gently curving. And I hope you guys are ready to sit and chill for a bit. Because it's going to be a while until this looks like anything. You know, this is true about a lot of games I play. This intersection is going to be fine. What am I saying? This is true about a lot of games I play, but I think it's especially true about something like SimCity and this game, good old Skylines. Is if you are in the mood for like a fast-paced game, then you've come to the wrong place. But if you're in the mood to, you know, chill out and watch something be built over time, gradually, you know, this is the kind of game to do it. So, if you are here, I presume it's because you're the kind of person who doesn't mind those kind of long things, you know? Alright. What I'm doing now is building roads that sort of suggest at where future towns are going to be. And, like if you put this one out here enough, or put that one down there enough, we're going to have some actual towns that are going to be built as well. But we're not going to necessarily build them all before we turn on anything. I think what we're going to do, in fact, is build up Old Guppin and Old Kozu and turn them on first, and we're going to sort of build everything based on that start. But yeah, here's our limit. And one fun thing I find about sort of organic building is, like, I'm deliberately making this a little bit wonky, like a little bit inefficient, a little bit silly, you know. And later on, we're going to have, you know, to come up with sort of what might be considered real-life solutions for the problems that we're right now creating, you know. For example, traffic might be a problem in some of these historic districts, and it's going to be a matter of, well, how much do we want to alter the districts to improve the traffic flow? How much do we want to, or do we want to route traffic around them and try to just generally keep them, keep the traffic out? You know, these are questions we're going to have to answer. And I know many SimCity players or City Builder players, such as the Big D, who doesn't necessarily feel the same way about this kind of thing, and you know, that's why people like him always design very deliberately, very exquisitely, very very top down from the very beginning. So there we go, Old Guppin. There it is. What a beautiful mess. Now, Old Kozu. Let me think about this for a minute. We're going to be... I'm thinking about the commuter rail and how it's going to go. I'm thinking that there's actually going to be 2 lines here. Yes. Now, I don't always expect you guys to follow my train of thought. Train of thought, we're working with trains. But, I'm hoping that you'll see the value in what I do once it gets a little bit further along. We're going to make a second rail line right next to the first one. And no, we are not going to have these curves perfectly match each other or anything like that. If you want to see stuff like that, there's a channel I discovered today. This guy by the name of... oh, I forget what his name is. But he makes, like, these really awesome cities. And they're very precise looking and all that. So I really wish I remember that guy's name now. Maybe if I remember it later, I will write it down in somewhere. We'll see. But yeah. By the way, "we'll see" is one of my least favorite phrases in the English language. Partially because "we'll see" is sort of diplomatic talk / adultese for no, you know, and it's been used on me. So basically, yeah, don't say that to people, or at least don't say it to me, because I don't like it. But, well, we're going to have to cut off this episode somewhere. And I think that this is a pretty reasonable start. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for seeing this opening episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and join us next time for more.